Good evening. This is the Dolores County Broadcasting Network. And fortunately, again, I have nothing to report from the New York Jets. Isn't that nice? It's just remarkable. There's nothing to report. Now, as for the owner of the Patriots, New England Patriots, I think he has himself in a little bit of trouble. But we'll find out. He's got $1 billion or several $1 billion, so he'll figure out a way to get out of it. So, okay, well, here we go. The DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for February 25th, 2019. Camera person is Cowboy Devin Harrison. Video engineer and producer, sound engineer and producer is Edward. Teleprompter and, you want Lynette today? Okay. Video, teleprompter and prompter, Myra. News anchors are Lion Green and Pepper Faulkner. And our meteorologist is Scooter Faulkner. And this is the news director, Dan, and now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. Hello, I am Austin, and our first story is from the Denver Post. Investigators detail how parking spot dispute led to fatal shooting of ex-CU buff T.J. Cunningham. What began as a dispute via text message between two neighbors over street parking ended in the death of an Aurora assistant principal who had played football for the University of Colorado and the Seattle Seahawks. A probable cause statement from the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office released Tuesday sheds light on how this weekend dispute turned deadly. Anthony T.J. Cunningham, an assistant principal at Aurora's Hinckley High School, and Marcus Johnson lived across the street for each other. They had each other's phone numbers. Early on Sunday, the two got in altercation. Sheriff's spokeswoman Deborah Sherman said the probable cause statement that Cunningham's brother, Tyrese Clinton O'Neill, went with him nearby Eagle Crest High School in Aurora on Sunday to meet Johnson so the two could box it out. McClinton told police that in the high school parking lot, Cunningham and Johnson walked toward each other, yelling. Johnson told police that Cunningham carried a bottle. Cunningham 3 times, according to the sheriff's probable cause statement, striking the former football player in the head and chest. Police said Cunningham was unarmed. They were texting each other that morning back and forth. She said they decided to settle it at the school. We all can learn a lesson from this incident that this violence solved nothing, and now one person is dead and another might as well be. The shooter could get life in prison or even a death sentence. A parking space seemed like a bad price for 2 lives. Maybe we all should work on being more patient. This story is from the Durango Herald.
The Dolores County Sheriff's Office is investigating a Tuesday bomb threat at the community banks of Colorado and Dove Creek. A press release from Dolores County Sheriff Don Wilson states his office received a report of a possible bomb threat on Tuesday afternoon. Officers evacuated the bank and nearby businesses for public safety. Local schools were notified of a possible threat. The press release states the area was released to normal business once the bank was deemed safe. Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowen said he sent 1 deputy to Dove Creek for assistance. Colorado State Patrol and Colorado Parks and Wildlife Office also reported. Nowlin said the threat was called in long distance by phone. It was unfounded, Nowlin said. Just threats. The Dove Creek Sheriff's Office said the FBI was notified about the threat, but a spokesperson from the FBI told the Journal that the agency was not involved with the investigation. Now, the stories from Durango Herald with Little Green Lion.
A magnitude 3.7 earthquake struck the densely populated Bluffdale, Utah area on February 15th, and a magnitude 4.0 hit further south on Wednesday. According to the University of Utah seismogram stations, people felt shaking, but there was no reported damage, said Mark Hale, a seismologist. When the UUSS people inside like it to a car hitting the south or shaking you when a big truck moves close by, he said. A lot of people heard things rattling in the house. The Bluffdale quake south of Salt Lake City was accompanied by more than 100 smaller quakes, including 13 foreshocks and 88 aftershocks between February 13th and February 21st. Minor earthquakes in Utah are not unusual, Hale said, and the preceding and following shocks are also normal. But the 3.7 magnitude quake turned a few heads. The epicenter was estimated at 1.8 miles south of Bluffdale and 5.3 miles under the surface. Its cause is not clear, Hale said. The normal fault quake may have been associated with the Wasatch Fault to the east, or from the Minor Fault, or from upward percolation from localized geothermal activity, which can cause seismic events. Since 1962, 5 earthquakes of magnitude 3.0 or greater have occurred within 16 miles of epicenter of the Bluffdale event. In the past, earthquakes would go unnoticed, Hale said, but as more development occurs, such as in the rapidly growing Bluffdale area, the more people noticed and reported them. The Bluffdale quake generated 8,805 reports from people who reported feeling it in Salt Lake and Utah valleys. By comparison, a 4.0 magnitude quake in sparsely populated Canish, Utah area on Wednesday generated 78 felt reports in 1967. A magnitude 5.2 earthquake occurred 23 miles to the southeast of Canish. According to the UUSS, earthquakes typically need to be at least a magnitude 5.0 to cause damage to structures and larger than 6.0 for surface to break to occur. As development grows, more people are experiencing Utah earthquakes, and it has been drumming up more interest in them, Hale said. It is a good reminder for people that a lot of injuries from earthquakes are from objects falling down in the house, he said. Thing about these bowling trophies on the high shelf or the swords mounted above the bed. This story is from the Cortez Journal. Now a little long one.
Mystery as humpback whale found dead in middle of Amazon jungle. A humpback whale has been found dead in Amazon jungle miles from its natural habitat, leaving experts in Brazil baffled. The 36 feet long, 10-ton marine animal was discovered in the middle of the undergrowth on the island of Marajo of the Aruna Beach at the mouth of the Amazon River. Scientists believe the creature died at sea and may have landed in the wooded area after rough seas and high tides threw it inland far from the ocean. Darlene Silvia from the Department of Health, Sanitation and Environment said to Brazilian media journal O Liberal, "We only found the whale because of the presence of scavenging birds of prey." The vultures were spotted circling above the carcass, which was found hidden in the bush some distance from the sea. A team from SEMA went to the region to inspect the remains, believed to be a 12-month-old calf, and to gather information which could help to explain how the aquatic creature crash-landed in the jungle. Video taken on Friday shows the mammal splayed out in swampy mangrove surrounded by trees with no visible signs of injury. Biologists from the Bicho de Agua Institute have been called in to collect forensic samples to determine the cause of death. They believe the massive animal, which measures 6 feet wide, was already dead when it was carried by huge waves to its unnatural resting place. Now for Dumb Laws with Hannah. Thank you, Little Lion Man.
Our Dumb Laws segment are
Little Green Lion.
Laws that are still in the book in many towns, cities, and states. Dumb laws in Pennsylvania. Monitorizing vehicles are not to be sold on Sundays. It is illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outdoors. You may not catch a fish with your hands. Any motorist driving along the county road at night must stop every mile and send up a rocket signal. Wait 10 minutes for the road to be cleared of livestock and continue. You may not catch a fish or any body part except the mouth. A special cleaning ordinance bans housewives from hiding dirt and dust under a rug in a dwelling. Dynamite is not to be used to catch fish. You may not sing in the bathtub. Though you do not need a fishing license to fish on your own land, but a hunting license is required to hunt on your own land. Fireworks stores may not sell fireworks to Pennsylvania residents. A person is not eligible to become governor if he or she has participated in a duel. Now for the weather report. Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 32 degrees. The high for today was 31 degrees. The low was 18 degrees. The barometer is at 30.22 inches and is falling. Humidity is at 98%. Wind is between 1 and 5 miles per hour from the west. Gusts temperature up to 12 miles per hour. There were 0.00 of an inch of moisture melted today in the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 0.06 of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year 0.06 of an inch. Now for the big map courtesy of the National Weather Station. Snow starts in Idaho and ends in the Dakotas. More snow is coming down along the eastern border of California. Great Lakes are getting snow and it runs into patches into New York and into Maine. From Texas along the Gulf Coast, there is rain and thunderstorms that have ended in the Florida Panhandle. The extreme southern tip of Florida is getting some rain. Here is our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Tuesday, partly sunny, high 38, low 22. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high 43, low 25. Thursday, thunderstorms, high 43, low 27. Friday, mostly cloudy, high 41, low 24. Saturday, chance of rain or snow, high 42, low 30. We present you with the Snowtail Report, which is the amount of snowpack in the mountains across the state. We hopeful it will be helpful for our farmers and our skiers. Statewide, snowpack is 115% of normal. Here in the Southwest, we only have 124% of normal. Now for the climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide in moisture and hot and cool temperatures. But the general climate trend of the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 410.98. 2 weeks ago, 412.41. Last year, 408.45. 10 years ago, 387.61. 50 years ago, 325.64. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tan of the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' news show on air by buying a sponsorship. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to your news director.
And that's the end of today's DCTV 4-H evening news program. This is your news director, Dan, saying good night and thank you for watching.